discussion. Startup Innovators in EnviroTech, moderated by Ms. Marianna Bulbuc, the founder and CEO of Bizzmosis Business Service, and participating TIP 2019 Innovators, starting with Mr. Ahmad Sarayreh, Dr. Yasser Grish, Mr. Muhammad Ahmed Yusuf Al-Abed. Kindly proceed to the stage. Thank you.
Can I be heard? Yes, great. Thank you for the introduction. First of all, it's a great pleasure and honor to have you all here, gentlemen. For everyone in the room to know, these are three innovators that we would learn from today, that I admire, and we will address today main subjects on EnviroTech industry. EnviroTech industry develops three challenges, such as ocean conservation, single-use plastic, and clean energy. The session will discuss innovative solutions that address these challenges, as well as hopefully the gentleman here, Dr. Yasser Grish from ProL Innovation Program, as well as Dr. Ahmad Sarayreh from solar and waste-driven chiller technology called Precision Industries, and Muhammad Ahmed Yusuf from Solar Technologies. We look to learn from you, from your experiences, and I would like you to please introduce your platforms and tell us briefly about your experience, your innovation, and your advice to the interested in the room on how to become innovators and how to bring those innovations forward so then them and the environment can benefit from. Please.
Hello everybody. First of all, I would like to thank TIP committee for this invitation. My name is Ahmad Sarayreh. I am working with Precision Industry. It's a local company specialized in power generation. I am trying in my invention to address the clean energy in cooling sector. There is a huge and high demand for cooling in this area, and to cover this cooling, the conventional cooling system are used commonly. This system has a significant opposite impact on the environment, such as greenhouse gas emission and ozone depletion potential. The invention is a new system, a new cooling system. It can work by any kind of waste heat, like waste heat from diesel generator or from solar collector. This system can work at high ambient temperature up to 50 degrees. We already built a prototype system and we tested in our lab in Dubai. And now we are trying to combine this system with diesel generator to utilize the waste heat from diesel generator, so we can give the end user electricity and cooling at the same time in efficient cost and environmentally friendly solution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmad. What a beautiful initiative and very much needed in the warm countries as the GCC and MENA region is. Dr. Yasser, I would like to hear more about ProL and what your project is about.
First of all, thank you. I would like to thank the administrators who's taking care of TED for the kind invitation to be on the panel. And I'm Yasser Grish. I'm a professor of material science and chemistry at the UAE University. It's really interesting that our innovation started about 5 years ago when I was giving a seminar about one of the methods that you can make fibers, nanofibers out of. And then in the audience, there was a colleague who is also a chemist, but he knows more about petroleum. And he said, why don't we work together and do something that my nanofibers can work on collecting the oil spills. And from that perspective, we started working officially on advising a student through her master thesis. And through the results that we obtained within like 2 years of research, we came up with a protocol that we have a material. We give it a name, it's ProL. And this ProL is basically a nanofiber sorbent that is 7 times higher in absorption of crude oil spills than what is in the market. It's exclusively made from recycled materials, recycled plastics. So we clean the environment from recycled plastics, we clean the environment from oil spills, and not only that, the post-treatment does not depend on incineration or landfilling, but the post-treatment basically is complete solubility of what we have collected, including the fibers themselves. into a solution that is feasible to be fed to the refinery. So it is a zero waste process, and it cleans the environment from three main things: the plastic waste and the oil spills and the post-treatment afterwards. So that was a very, very nice initiative, and now we have already developed the prototypes, and we demonstrated our prototypes and the whole process in front of ADNOC specialists and at the airport as well, and it has been already patented. We have a US patent, 2 years old now, or like 1.5 years old, and we are in the process of setting up our startup, and hopefully we will get enough sponsorship to have our first pilot plant.
Wow, congratulations. What a beautiful product. I was amazed to know what a performance you've already proven with the product that you developed. Yes. Also, the exceptional possibility of having that product as a preventive as well as a solution in case of oil spillage. So you're solving a lot of problems here. Thank you very much for your innovation. Ahmad from Solva Technologies would like to hear more about your project and your innovation and your problem that you are being solving through.
First, I would like to thank Tib and you for having me today. Solva Technologies is basically an AI and learning machine algorithm that supports electrification of the last mile delivery and logistics business. So what we basically do is we trace the operational and performance data of the businesses that we partnered with as R&D partners. And we analyze the data through the algorithm we've created, and based on the output of the data, we define if the vehicle can be removed and swapped with an electric vehicle that we provide to them as well. With the vehicle that we provide, the electric vehicle, we support the vehicle with a dashboard that supports the user, the operator, and teaches the operator how to operate an electric vehicle. We believe that this is the step that should be considered before proceeding into market electrification, since we have limitations in infrastructure, regulations, and etc. So it's like a learning curve ahead of the wave of electrification. Just to answer the two other parts of your question, what is my experience in the business? The challenges faced and the learnings were out there, they were amazing. And my advice to next generation entrepreneurs and to anybody who is deciding or thinking of joining the wave of entrepreneurship, I would say believe and consistency. So as long as you're consistent with what you do on a day-to-day basis, success should be there. Thank you,
Mohammed. Very inspiring indeed, and a great initiative to give instructed support to those that will be your final users of the product that you bring on the market. So that solves the know-how challenge, right? So very, very impressive, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Mohammed went ahead with giving an advice to those that are planning to be innovators and investors. Gentlemen, Dr. Yasser and Mr. Ahmad, I would like to hear one advice that you would give to those that are now the big dreamers or at the stage that they have dreamed big but they need to move forward and they don't know how. What would be one main advice that you would give from the route that you've gone through with your innovation, please?
Actually, I advise the inventor to apply for the program that supports the invention, like TIP program. They will help them in the patent process. Once they have a patent, then it's easy for them to protect their right and to be confident when they apply for any funded program or for private company. The private company, they will ask them about the details and technical details. But once they have a registered patent, it's easy for them and will be they will talk freely and confidently.
Thank you very much.
From my perspective, I will take it further to two advices, not one. The first advice is there is nothing called impossible. Whatever idea comes to your mind, try it, and then try it again. If it fails, it doesn't mean that this is a failed idea. You can still give it time and give yourself a chance and give the idea a chance. That would be my first advice. Be patient. And the second advice is you can always work alone, but we are not created to work alone. We have to support each other. So in other words, you have to seek expertise of others as well. Nobody claims that he knows everything, but at least you have a piece of knowledge, and the other piece of knowledge will be with someone else who will complement you. And together you can make something stronger and more pioneering. So that would be my two advices to almost everyone.
Thank you, gentlemen. Very insightful. I'll just do a summary of the advice because I am very sure everyone needs to just have this advice over and over and over in their head and in their mind before moving forward. So as a summary, we need to have our innovation patented and registered to protect yourself. We need to partner with the knowledge of others in order to have the support and the expertise from different fields, and we need to persevere and continue working on our ideas and be consistent because that guarantees success to your innovation. Thank you, gentlemen. I'll move to the room now. If anybody has any questions for us, then I would be happy to answer them. Please. Yes, please.
I would like to know who are your customers?
Okay, so just for the question is, who are your customers? That's a very good question. At the incipient stage that you are now, who are you planning to help or sell to your products and your innovation? Please.
When we are talking about this cooling system, any client, he has a cooling demand, but at the same time he has extra or excess waste heat from diesel generator or from solar collector. It's our client, and it's available in here or in all MENA region.
Thank you.
To me, ProL is basically a product that will take care of oil spills, but I would like to make it general. It's not just crude oil spills that we may have on top of any water media like oceans and seas and so on, but we have tested our ProL to motor oil, to diesel, and even to cooking oil. So our customers will be at the mega scale, which is basically ADNOC or any similar petroleum companies, ports, municipalities, risk management, and so on. And at the micro scale, I would say as small as a restaurant, even, or like a motor or a garage or a machine shop and so on. Wherever you have an oil spill, then our product can be useful for it. So we have a wide range of customers, I would say.
For Solva, our customers are any company or business that owns a fleet with a defined hub for fetching products in those vehicles, regardless type of vehicle and regardless the type of a product, is it F&B or logistics or any type basically of product, but it should be a fleet and it should has a defined fetching hub.
Thank you, gentlemen. To end our session, I would have probably one main question that has been discussed in almost every session and workshop happening at the TIP event for the last 2 days. And the question is, what do you think are the critical changes that have to happen in order to support startups in solving their biggest environment or EnviroTech challenges? Please.
If I may start.
Yes, please.
Having the knowledge is not enough. You can come up with something, you can have a prototype every day, you can have a patent every week or every month. That should be okay, as long as you take care of the normal steps and complement each other and do normal research and so on, testing, experimentation. But the financial aspect is extremely important in this regard. Because as an example, as a ProL, we've been with prototype for more than 1.5 years, or let's say 2 years. So without sponsorship, we cannot go one step further. So financial support is basically something that every startup will seek, and this is maybe where TIP and DID and the other entities can be like moderators to link between the startups and where money is. And without that, you cannot go further. And also, if officials in the country or wherever you have the invention, they are not really interested in giving funding, maybe a very courageous sponsor should be there to fund the projects.
Thank you, Dr. Youssef. Understood. Gentlemen, Ahmad?
I believe the biggest challenge without referring to regulations, access to fund, infrastructure, without referring to those because they are common sense. Every single entrepreneur will sit in this chair will mention them. But I think the biggest challenge on top of all those existing challenges is the market and end user awareness of the cause of the issue and willingness to create change. In this region, I'm not being general, I'm not being specific as well. In this region, people think they need a lot of things to do a simple thing. I need to keep the AC on for 24 hours to keep the heat, to the temperature and a certain level. They're not educated of the auto mode thingy, you know. So the willingness of the market and the knowledge of the cause is one of the biggest challenge I am personally facing.
Thanks, Ahmad. Indeed. Yes, please.
I think one of the biggest challenge is the financial issue, but in a sustainable way. Not only to give the startup money and leave it. No, it needs some follow-up. Also, some change in the policy. Financial support is not to give money directly. Also, you have to change in the policy. For example, to make tax on some product or tax exemption another product, like that.
Okay, I understand. Thank you, gentlemen. Just to summarize, the challenges and very good points here would be education of end consumer or the utilizer of the EnviroTech platforms that you create. Would be, of course, funding and access to funds for the projects and the platforms, and continuity of support, either with funds, with education, government support, or any other platforms that are needed for those projects to implement. Thank you very much. Thank you for the auditorium, and I hope that next year we will know more about your success.
Thank you.